Hey, I'm Keegan. I'm the Balanced Nomad, and today I'm going to be taking you through a balance flow. So today's class will be an all levels vinyasa flow, obviously focus on balancing poses. So I'm super excited for this one. No props are required, and let's get started. We're just going to take a quick seat before we get into the flow, just to kind of center ourselves here. You can shut down the eyes or keep them open, just taking a few deep breaths here, really coming into the present moment. Thinking of anywhere in our life that requires a bit more balance, whether that be with work, personal life, self care. Where can you find more balance in your life? If your eyes were closed, you can begin to open them. And we can start finding some movement. So, first, just finding a big inhale, lifting the arms above the head. And exhaling, just finding a side bend here. And an inhale takes us back up. And an exhale, moving to the other side. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Remembering that we can come to our breath at any point in this class. If we're in a balancing pose and we're finding it difficult, just coming back to the breath is always the best thing to focus on. We can move to an all fours position, just finding a few rounds of cat-cow, inhaling down, looking up, exhaling, bringing the chin to the chest. Inhale takes you to cow, just feeling a nice expansion in the front of the chest. And an exhale brings us to cat, feeling a big opening in the back. Just moving at your own pace here. And coming back to a neutral spine, we're going to find a ragdoll position at the front of our mat, just stepping forward. We can be quite generous with the bend in the knee if that feels best for us, just grabbing onto opposite elbows and finding a bit of a rock here, maybe shaking out the head a bit. And on a big inhale, we can come all the way up. And finding our mountain pose. And we're going to start to flow here. So we're going to inhale up. And exhale, we fold down. Inhaling to halfway. And coming to our plank pose. You can either go to chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. And we pull through to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. We can paddle out the feet here. Just getting a big stretch in the back of the legs and behind the shoulder blades. Not so much as focusing as getting the heels to the mat, but feeling the sit bones pressing up. Maybe rock out the hips here. And we'll start moving. Inhaling, bringing the right foot up, square. Pulling through to a low lunge. Back knee can go down. We inhale the arms up. Releasing the hands. We find our half splits here, straightening the front right leg, keeping the hips square to the front, either palms or fingertips to the mat, looking forward, maybe bending down a little bit. Bending back forward into our low lunge, coming into plank. Finding chaturanga or knees, chest, chin to the mat. Pulling through to cobra or upward facing dog, pressing back into downward. We repeat on the second side, extending the left foot up, pulling through, coming to our low lunge. Back knee down. We inhale and bring the arms above. Exhaling the hands down, coming into our half split, straightening the left leg, flexing the left foot, keeping the hips square, either fingertips or palms to the mat. Coming back to our low lunge, coming to plank, finding either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Pulling through to cobra or upward. Exhale takes us back to downward facing dog. Inhaling the right leg up. Pulling through to a high lunge position. Using high lunge to transition into warrior 3, we straighten both of the legs and slowly bring all of our weight into that front foot and push forward until we feel we can lift the back toes. Arms can either be out to the side, behind us, or straight above us. Remembering to keep the hips nice and square here. And slowly coming back to our high lunge, bending into that right foot. And we release the arms back down, coming into our plank, finding our flow. Pulling through to cobra. And meeting back in downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg. And coming through to our high lunge. Inhaling up. Using this pose to transition, we straighten the legs and bring all of our weight into that front foot, maybe bringing the right foot a bit closer to make it easier, and slowly we bring our weight forward. Finding our arm variation might be easier to just go straight across, or finding the full expression of the pose with arms in front of us. Keeping the back leg straight and square. And slowly coming back to our high lunge. And coming into our flow. Either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Into cobra or upward facing dog. And we meet in downward facing dog. Slowly starting to build some heat here. We're going to inhale and lift up the right leg. You can open up the hip this time, taking some circles with the right knee. And maybe moving into the opposite direction. And once again, straightening that right leg. And we pull through into our warrior 2 position. Front foot is facing forward and the back leg is parallel to the back edge of our mat. Gaze is over the right fingertips. We're going to transition into our half moon pose from here. So we can slowly begin bringing the weight into the front right foot, maybe walking the left foot a bit closer as we slowly find our balance in a half moon position. Finding our balance here. Maybe we can lift the hand up or leave fingertips planted to the mat. And to come out of this position, we're going to move back into our warrior two. Ooh. A little bit shaky here. And coming back to our flow, we come to plank, either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Cobra or upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Lifting the left foot up, finding some circles with that knee. Going in the opposite direction, and we can come back through to a warrior two position. Front leg is facing forward, back leg parallel to the back edge of the mat. And we're slowly going to move to our half moon position. We can walk the right foot up slightly as we bring the weight into this left foot, lifting up into our half moon position. Maybe lifting the fingers or leaving the fingertips planted. And we release back into our warrior two position. Coming back to our flow. And meeting in downward facing dog. We lift our right leg up and pull it through right knee to right elbow. Extending up, right knee to our left elbow. Inhaling up. Once again, right knee to left elbow. We straighten the leg, coming into fallen star. Bringing the left hand down, we turn back into our three-legged dog. Finding this pose on the opposite side. Extending the left leg up. Bringing left knee to left elbow. Extending up. Left knee to right elbow. Extending up and finding fallen star on the opposite side. And we bring our right hand back down, back into our three-legged dog. Moving through plank here and finding our flow. Back into downward, and we can walk our hands to the back of our mat. And we can slowly roll up here. And we're going to find tree pose in the center of our mat, starting by lifting up the right leg. You have a few options of where you want to place your foot, so either right above your ankle or above. You want to make sure you're not pushing too far, but staying really straight here. And you can either extend the arms up, come to prayer hands, or have the arms straight out. So choosing whatever arm variation is best for you. I personally like to have them up above my head. And if you really want a challenge for this balancing class, you can maybe choose to close your eyes for a few seconds. It's a lot trickier to balance with closed eyes, but it's always a fun little challenge just to test yourself. And we all fall out of poses. Nothing to be embarrassed about, just a part of yoga. And we can bring the right arm back down, the right leg. And we're gonna find this pose on the opposite side. So grounding our right leg down, finding whatever foot variation, so either above our ankle or above our knee, and finding the arm variation that works best for us. And if you did so on the first side, you can shut down the eyes, see how all of the sensations change. Maybe you fall out of it. Maybe this side's easier than last side. Just things to observe, not things to judge. And we can release out of this pose. And we can open up the legs here slightly, just finding a little goddess pose. So bending into the knees and opening the arms up wide, finding our cactus arms, and bending here. Just feeling really strong in the legs. Just here for a few breaths. And we can drop the arms to the knees, just bringing the right shoulder in, getting a little twist here. And finding that on the opposite side. You can move back and forth a bit here. Maybe you want to sway a little bit. And you can straighten out the legs. Now toes facing forward. Just finding a little bend here. Finding the best arm variation for you. Maybe straight out, maybe in ragdoll. Grabbing big toes or your ankles. So just lots of options here, just finding whatever works. Maybe coming into stillness. Maybe finding a little rock. And we can walk our feet in slightly, keeping heels in, toes out. We're going to move through Malasana. Maybe finding a little rock here. And we can slowly release to seated. And turn to the side. We're going to find Navasana, our boat pose. So you can extend either the legs up straight or keep them bent. Chest is nice and high. We're not falling through with this one, but staying nice and proud. Arms either above us or facing forward. Choose your option with your legs. Just breathing here. And we can release. We're going to come back into that pose 2 more times. Taking a deep breath and coming back into our boat pose. And releasing. We're going up 1 more time. So taking a second to take a breath to recover. And back into boat pose. And we can release here. Maybe give the legs a little shake out here. Coming into a seated forward fold. Can move the extra flesh out of the way just so sit bones are directly onto the ground. And inhale, extend arms above the head. Bending over, hinging from the hips. Making sure we're bending from here. We're not just bending forward, but really feeling the full extension with a nice long spine. Going until we hit that point of resistance, and we can drop the hands down either to ankles, big toes, or maybe you grab the bottom of the feet. Inhale up and we fold down. We're here for 5 breaths. And we can slowly walk ourselves out of this posture and just move on towards our back. And from here, we can either move into legs up the wall, so legs just straight here with the bottom of the feet flexed. If this is enough for you, you can stay here, but if it's within your practice, you can go into a shoulder stand. So rolling all of the weight back, we can grab onto the hips and extend them straight overhead. Just nice to end class with a little inversion. And if you were in shoulder stand, very slowly releasing out of this pose. We can find a laying spinal twist from here, bringing the right knee in towards the chest and bringing it over to our left side, extending the right arm and bringing our gaze to our right fingertips, remembering to keep the right shoulder pressed into the mat. And coming back to center, we'll just find this twist on the opposite side. So bringing left knee in towards our chest and folding it over to the right side. Extending our left arm, bringing our gaze to our fingertips and keeping our left shoulder blade pressed into the mat. You can come back to center. And we're going to come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So take up lots of space here. Open up the legs, the arms. Time for your total body relaxation. And I'll call you back when it's time. And you can slowly begin wiggling your fingers and toes to reawaken, bringing a bit of movement back into the body. And you can roll over onto your right side, finding a little fetal posture before we press ourselves up. And we'll meet in a cross-legged position. And to end this class, I'm going to chant one Om. Feel free to join me here, bringing our hands to prayer in the center of the heart. We inhale to chant Om. Bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for doing this practice with me. I hope you're feeling a bit more balanced in your body and you've had time to reflect on how you can balance more off the mat as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.